Hi, it's Paul Latour, creator and executive director of the HeroWork Society. In this presentation, I want to talk to you about our 2016 goals. I think it's important that we communicate this stuff to you because HeroWork is founded, it is based on a foundation of community, on teamwork, on people and companies coming together with common vision, common purpose to make an amazing difference in our community that renews and refreshes buildings, inspires people, and ripple outs positive effect into our community for many years to come. Because of that foundation, it's important that you know, whether you're a donor or a sponsor or a volunteer or a team member or a partner, to know what it is that we're doing, right? I mean, you may be involved in one or two of these things. You may be just volunteering for a day, for an event, but how does it all fit together? Where are we heading and how are we going to get there? And what are the strategic things we're doing this year to not only make a difference, but get ready for that long-term vision. So what is that long-term vision? Because I think it's important as I go through this, I'm going to connect some of these things to this long-term vision. So if you don't know, we have a 10-year vision. It's an audacious vision. We want to be a national organization within 10 years, doing radical renovations in communities across the country. It's audacious, it's out there, but it is inspired, and we believe that it is possible. Just take for a moment and reflect upon what that actually means to think about and imagine radical renovations in towns and cities all over the country, going from 1 to 2 to 4 to 10 to 25. What does more than that look like? And if you've already been involved with a radical renovation, you know the level of connection that's there. You know the level of coolness and change. You know the magic, camaraderie and cooperation that results. You know the impact that we have not only on the neighborhood, on the recipient nonprofit, their workflow, their capacity, their ability to deliver their mandate, and the ripple effect that happens, that occurs from that, but also the local leadership capacity of how it is that we mobilize community, of people thinking that more is possible than they originally thought. That when people who are clients of charities come into the new and refreshed and beautiful building, that they know the community cares, that we care about each other, that the newspapers and the telecasts that are out there that talk about all this bad news, that's the minority of what's going on out there, that human beings care about each other, and this is a program that reflects that caring and that ability to cooperate. So within that vision of this 10 years of moving across a 10-year timeline, how are we going to look at this number one year, this year, of what are the steps that we're going to do or to accomplish in order to get there? So number one, this is not the most exciting one, by the way, governance and fiduciary responsibility. So this is really all about sustainability. I apologize in advance for my writing. Sustainability, if you do not have governance, policies, and procedures in place, the foundation upon which you build up your society, build up your organization, then you're not going to be able to scale out. We're not going to be able to do what it is that we need to do. We also, in addition, need financial sustainability. Because looking at that long-term vision, we need the resources to get us from where we are now to where we want to go to make that amazing and radical difference. In addition to that, we have infrastructure that we've been working on. This is infrastructure not in terms of buildings, but infrastructure in terms of on volunteer portals, being connected with the email software, which is connected to the donor and sponsorship platforms and the fundraising platforms, all under a single interconnected umbrella. Well, that takes months of work, but unless we do it now, we're going to be in trouble later. So this is all about, again, the sustainability of the organization, so that in each of the areas that that pretty much few people ever see, that we have that rock solid foundation. You know, you're not going to build a house unless you got a solid foundation underneath it. You may not see it when you're looking from the outside or from the street, but it's there, and it's important for us to maintain that. This is a goal this year, but it will continue to be a goal in the years to come, that each year we look at that, we refine it, we change it, we refine it, we refine it. So by the time we are starting to make those national outreaches a few years from now, we're prepared. We got that solid foundation. Make sense? So now the big stuff. This is the exciting stuff, right? This is the Rainbow Kitchen, the radical renovation for the Rainbow Kitchen, a $500,000 radical renovation, a monstrous project, multiple moving parts on multiple levels in a wing of the Esquimalt United Church. You know, I've had the privilege of getting to know some of the people at the Rainbow Kitchen. This is one of the benefits of working with HeroWork, is that we get to know lots of different charities, lots of different organizations. And the Rainbow Kitchen deal with food security. They feed, or they serve 36,000 meals every year, 36,000 meals. And they care about the people who come there. They really create a sense of family and a sense of community. They have the same mindset and heart as what I saw at the Mustard Seed when we were there doing their radical renovation. And so we're excited to put this event together, not only for them, but for the other charities and community organizations who utilize this space. So there are multiple organizations who will be positively affected by this radical renovation, and the Esquimalt United Church, who is a hub for about 20 community organizations, is looking to increase the ability of community to utilize this new space. So not only are we making this massive difference for the Rainbow Kitchen, allowing them to continue to move their mandate forward in the many years to come, but other organizations, and increasing the capacity to serve the community. We spent the first quarter of this year preparing so many things, from marketing assets to websites to video work to cost structure, supply lists, breaking it down into various components, meeting with all of the stakeholders, making sure that we have a long-term and correct solutions to every component that they need to have renovated. We're right here at the beginning of the second quarter, and we're starting our outreach campaign now for this project. So we'll be looking to connect to sponsors, specifically suppliers and trade leads, to be able to finish up many of the renovation preparation elements for it. And then moving into the third quarter, we will then start to mobilize community by putting together the rest of the teams that are necessary, giving them the training and the empowerment that's required, and moving them out into the community so that the whole community, hundreds of volunteers, just imagine it, over 100 companies, hundreds more volunteers coming together right here at the middle of September, the beginning of October, to do this $500,000 radical renovation. And then in the fourth quarter, we're going to close it out. We need to make sure that we have lessons learned, and we're able to integrate the lessons learned. We're able to measure the outcomes and be able to deliver the reports to some of the people that are funding our program. So this is an amazing event that is going to inspire you. I hope that you'll get involved. More about that in the weeks ahead. Now, number 3, the third goal here this year is the first iteration of our charitable social franchise model. Charitable social franchise model. What does that mean? Well, it's not really a franchise, right? But it's the best word that we can come up with to say that we're taking all of our lessons learned, all of the capacity that we've built over the $1.2 million worth of renovations, and packaging it, putting it into templates, into systems, into modules, into task lists for the 3 different teams and the sub-teams below them, making sure that we have our legal requirements, contractual requirements, we have our admin stuff. This has a lot of work, and this is a multi-year project, of which this year we're doing the first iteration of it. So what we're doing here at the Rainbow Kitchen, while we're doing the Rainbow Kitchen, we are at the same time putting together the social franchise model. So in the preparation elements of the Rainbow Kitchen, we then do a lot of the preparation elements for the social franchise model. We're developing manuals right now We got, I think, 4 or 5 committees developing the different elements of the manuals. And as we start our outreach program and we move out, part of this outreach program here is about creating a seminar that is open to the wider public. And this seminar, which right now is tentatively called Community Viralocity, is, again, we wanted to bring business people, individuals, people from other nonprofits together because we want to be of service to the community. And we want to tell you some of the secret sauce that we put together over time that enables us to mobilize community. There are years of learning tactical and strategic things that we do in order to make this happen in an authentic and real way. And so we want to share that with the community, bring as many people as we can to this one-day seminar, and that then leads to a HeroWork Academy. And this academy is a leadership training program whose practicum is putting on a radical renovation. It's pretty cool, right? We want to increase the leadership capacity within this community and other communities and enable ourselves the sustainability of leadership so that we can continue to do this year in and year out, every year, and make it easier as we go along. And so by developing both the manuals, the seminar, which is the high-level seminar that doesn't directly relate to a radical renovation, then bringing that down tactically and practically into leadership that then leads to a radical renovation is the vehicle for us to move forward and replicate. That makes sense? So 2 different workflows here. Now, then we're going to take this charitable social franchise model, and we're not only going to do another radical renovation in 2017 here in Victoria, another big one like this, but we're also going to do one in Duncan. Yeah, Duncan. Why Duncan? Well, because it's close enough that we can get there on a consistent basis, but far enough away that it's its own distinct community. We need to take all of the lessons learned and then test it in a safe way that mitigates risk. We're already working with a charity. It's an amazing group of people. I'm not going to tell you about it right now. It'll come in the future. It's still in its preparation mode, but we've been meeting with them throughout the first quarter of this year, preparing what it is that they need to know so that in this quarter, the second quarter, they're putting an initial team together. This is a team of project managers, contractors, engineers, event managers, architects, that type of thing. And in April, right about here, we will be delivering a seminar to them about how it all works, how it all gets put together, and what their next steps are. They will, at the same time, be looking at what we're doing at the Rainbow Kitchen. They'll be participating in the seminar and a little bit in the academy so that they are able to develop their capacity throughout the third quarter and be able to, in the fourth quarter, have a full team. And at this point, we are ready to rock and roll into 2017 and have that test project in Duncan be delivered. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But at the same time, we get to take this first iteration of the social franchise model and test it in a safe way so that then we can take more lessons learned, figure out what went well, what went wrong, and redo this franchise model so that then we'll be ready to then scale out in a bigger way moving forward. So the fifth one is not one that a lot of people know about, but this is kind of a little extra. It's a little bonus this year, you know, because we figure we're not really doing enough already. So let's do one more thing. It's called a micro radical renovation. It is a Camp Pringle, which is a kids camp on Shawnigan Lake, and their dock is not safe for kids right now. It is in terrible condition and it needs completely to be refreshed and resurfaced, and part of it completely rebuilt from scratch. So this is a simple event that doesn't have a lot of components to it, relatively speaking to a Rainbow Kitchen $500,000 build, but it's probably worth anywhere for around $80,000 to put that together. And so we've been planning about this in the late last year and early this year. We partnered with the Vancouver Island Construction Under 40 Leadership Group, who are bringing 40 contractors to the project, and they're also bringing their families as well. That's why we call it a radical renovation. Weekend end-to-end camp experience, because while the contractors are doing their thing, the families are being entertained and gone through programming by the camp counselors. So this is going to be really made public in early April, and May 13th, 14th, and 15th right here we will be delivering that Radical Renovation. So stay tuned for more information on that, more information on many of these things as we go along, because as I've said, I believe that we want to be transparent with each other. We want to be able to communicate to you as a supporter, as a team member, what it is that we're doing. So wherever it is that you fit on any of these major components, you know the context of what it is that we're creating in preparation to moving forward and developing and creating our 10-year goal here. So before I sign off, I just want to point out a couple of Victoria Real Estate Board is our first build sponsor for the Rainbow Kitchen event. They've made us a generous grant, and the Charitable Social Franchise model. This is a heck of a lot of work, and we've been supported by the Victoria Foundation and the United Way of Victoria in order to develop this. And so there's a lot of people that are involved in here, but I wanted to make a couple of shout outs to them because this is an audacious goal. This year is audacious, and there's probably 30 people working behind the scenes, from contractors and businesses in the Rainbow Kitchen to board members and committee members, up in governance and fiduciary responsibility, to I think 4 or 5 committee groups that are working on the social franchise model now. So to all of those people, thank you so much for being involved. To all of the other volunteers, sponsors, partners, thank you for your belief. Thank you for being excited by our vision and believing in us enough to support us as we move forward to, again, not only make an amazing difference here, but in many years to come, an amazing difference across the country. So until I see you in the next video presentation or the next update, love openly, live courageously, and make a difference wherever you can.